Ukraine is only one part of Vladimir Putin's grand geopolitical ambitions. The Russian president has long sought to expand his influence beyond Eastern Europe and into the South Caucasus, a region comprising Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia. However, what once appeared to be a promising avenue of expansion for the Kremlin has now collapsed entirely, as Azerbaijan has effectively destroyed Putin's South Caucasus project in a single decisive move. This moment marks a profound geopolitical shift, signaling the decline of Russian dominance in a region it once tightly controlled. For decades, Moscow maintained immense influence across the South Caucasus, largely through the unresolved conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over Nagorno-Karabakh, a territory within Azerbaijan's internationally recognized borders, but historically inhabited mostly by ethnic Armenians. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Armenian separatists declared independence there, forming the self-proclaimed Republic of Artsakh in the early 1990s and seeking unification with Armenia. This triggered the First Nagorno-Karabakh War, a brutal conflict that left thousands dead and forced hundreds of thousands of people from their homes. Russia never officially recognized Artsakh, but it used the conflict to its advantage, playing mediator, arms supplier, and peacekeeper to both sides, while carefully maintaining influence over both nations. This strategy allowed Moscow to manipulate the balance of power in the region for decades. The war ended in 1994 with an Armenian victory, and the enclave entered the state of limbo, effectively part of Armenia, but internationally recognized as Azerbaijani land. Russia brokered the ceasefire and cemented its role as the regional power broker. But in 2020, everything changed. Azerbaijan, heavily supported by Turkey and equipped with modern drones and weapons, launched a successful campaign to reclaim Nagorno-Karabakh. Russia, despite its traditional alliance with Armenia, remained largely passive, selling weapons to both sides and intervening only at the very end to station peacekeepers along the conflict line. Azerbaijan's decisive victory fundamentally altered the balance of power, and Armenia felt deeply betrayed by Moscow's inaction. Then, in September 2023, as Russia was bogged down in its war against Ukraine, Azerbaijan launched a swift operation to retake full control of Nagorno-Karabakh. Russian peacekeepers stationed there did nothing. Armenia accused Russia of abandoning it, and soon afterward, the Republic of Artsakh was dissolved. Over 100,000 ethnic Armenians fled the region, and Russian forces withdrew completely by spring 2024. Moscow's influence in the South Caucasus collapsed almost overnight. Since then, Armenia has turned to the west, seeking security guarantees from the United States and the European Union, while Azerbaijan has drifted further away from Moscow. President Ilham Aliyev has openly supported Ukraine, urging Kyiv to never surrender to Russian aggression. Tensions reached a boiling point on December 26, 2024, when a civilian airplane traveling from Baku to Grozny was mistakenly shot down by Russian air defenses, killing 38 people. Russia never accepted responsibility, enraging the Azerbaijani public and government alike. In the months that followed, relations deteriorated rapidly. Azerbaijan cancelled high-level visits to Moscow, suspended bilateral commissions, and closed Russian media offices, including Sputnik. When Aliyev refused to attend Russia's Victory Day parade, the Kremlin retaliated by targeting Azeri communities inside Russia. Violence, arrests, and mutual accusations followed, driving the two nations further apart. The final breaking point came when Russian state propagandists began threatening Azerbaijan directly. Figures like Vladimir Solovyov and Andrei Gurlev hinted at a possible Russian special military operation against Baku, claiming NATO influence in the region posed a threat to Russia. But Azerbaijan was unshaken. Instead, it announced a bold move: the complete transition of its armed forces to NATO standards. On November 6, President Aliyev declared that Azerbaijan's military would now operate according to NATO procedures, structures, and equipment standards. Representatives from NATO countries, including Turkey, the United States, France, Greece, Hungary, and the Netherlands, attended the event in Baku. Aliyev emphasized Azerbaijan's commitment to deeper cooperation with Turkey and NATO allies, marking the definitive end of Russia's dominance in the region. This development is catastrophic for Putin for three reasons. First, it effectively brings NATO's presence closer to Russia's southern border. Although Azerbaijan is not a NATO member, it has been a close partner since joining the Partnership for Peace in 1994 and participating in peacekeeping missions in Kosovo, Iraq, and Afghanistan. For the Kremlin, which views NATO as its greatest enemy, this move symbolizes another strategic defeat. Second, adopting NATO standards opens the door for Azerbaijan to receive Western weapons and technology. For a country ranked 60th in military power, modernization could transform its forces into a formidable regional army. Access to advanced Western armor, artillery, and air defenses would make it far harder for Russia to intimidate or invade Azerbaijan in the future. Third, and perhaps most threatening for Moscow, is the deepening alliance between Azerbaijan and Turkey. The two nations now operate militarily almost as one, a nightmare scenario for the Kremlin. As Azerbaijan strengthens ties with Ankara and the broader Western world, Russia loses not only a historical ally, but also a crucial geopolitical buffer zone. Today, Azerbaijan stands stronger and more independent than ever, defying Russia's coercion and reshaping the balance of power in Eurasia. Its success sends a clear message: former Soviet republics can escape Moscow's orbit and thrive on their own terms. As international relations expert Emil Abdeliani writes, Azerbaijan sees itself as a powerful regional player, freer and stronger without the Kremlin's control. And as other nations watch Baku's bold stance, Putin's empire of fear and dependency may finally begin to crumble from within.